President Trump saying he's also prepared to strike suspected drug traffickers on land if necessary.
We will hit them very hard when they come in by land. And they haven't experienced that yet, but now we're totally prepared to do that.
2:47 a.m. Chicago, Illinois. The South Side sleeps under a blanket of February cold. Wind cuts through chain-link fences like a blade. Streetlights flicker over empty intersections. Federal agents don't sleep. They move through darkness with purpose. 17 targets across the metro area. 900 warrants ready to execute. Over 5,000 suspects identified, and 8,818 pounds of fentanyl about to be seized. This isn't a drug bust. This is a declaration of war. Unmarked vehicles roll without headlights through industrial corridors near the rail yards. Engines idle. Radios whisper encrypted codes. K9 units wait with handlers gripping leashes tight enough to leave marks. No sirens. No announcements. No mercy. In a command center 3 miles away, monitors glow with live feeds from body cameras and aerial drones. Maps cover walls. Red pins mark locations. Digital timers count down. At 2:51 a.m., the order transmits. Execute. If you want the full truth about what happened in Chicago, hit like so this reaches more people. The first door is reinforced steel, industrial grade, bolted into concrete thick enough to stop a vehicle. A warehouse that looks abandoned. Graffiti on the walls. Broken windows covered with plywood. A faded sign reads Midwest Cold Storage. The name is a lie. The battering ram swings. Metal screams. Concrete cracks. A bolt snaps free and ricochets off the ground. The second hit tears the door from its frame. Flashbang. White light erases the world for 3 seconds. The shockwave rattles teeth. Then the flood. FBI. DEA. ICE Homeland Security investigations. ATF on backup. U.S. Marshals securing the perimeter. Commands cut through the smoke. Hands. Ground. Now. Inside, the warehouse is cleaner than expected. Too clean. Forklifts parked in perfect rows. Shipping pallets wrapped in industrial plastic. A break room with coffee brewing and donuts on a plate. It looks like a business. That's the trap. Because the deadliest operations don't look like crime scenes. They look like logistics companies. Agents push deeper. Past the loading bay. Past the offices with fake employee schedules on whiteboards. Then AK-9 alerts. The dog's body goes rigid. Ears back. A low growl. Behind a wall marked electrical. Do not enter. Agents find a hidden panel. No handle. Just a seam. One agent pries it open. Behind it, stairs descend into darkness. The basement wasn't on any blueprint. What they find next makes every investigator go silent. 143 kilograms of pure fentanyl. Brick after brick. Vacuum sealed. Labeled with codes. Chi 09. Det 14. Mil 22. NYC 31. Destinations written like shipping addresses. Each brick represents thousands of pills. Each pill represents a potential death. But it's not just fentanyl. There are pill presses. Industrial grade. Capable of 70,000 tablets per hour. Molds shaped like Percocet. Like Xanax. Like Adderall. Counterfeit pharmaceuticals that look identical to the real thing. Except these don't heal. They kill. 2 milligrams of fentanyl stops a human heart. Not an addict with tolerance. A teenager at a party. A college student who thought it was safe. A mother who took what she believed was a painkiller. Dead in minutes. Foam at the lips. Skin turning blue. A phone still glowing on the floor. This isn't addiction. This is industrial murder. Comment poisoned if this crisis has touched your community. Agents move to the second room. This one is colder. Climate controlled. Stainless steel tables line the walls. Packaging stations. Heat sealers. Label printers. Mylar bags designed to look pharmaceutical. QR codes that link to fake pharmacy websites. Every detail engineered to deceive. On one table sits a laptop, still powered on. A spreadsheet open. Routes. Quantities. Payments. Driver names. This isn't chaos. This is corporate infrastructure. There's even a column labeled commissions. Drivers earn bonuses for successful deliveries. Supervisors get percentages. Warehouse managers receive quarterly payments. An incentive structure. A business model. And buried in a folder marked protection, agents find something that makes blood run cold. A list of names. Not cartel members. Badges. A Cook County Sheriff's deputy named Marcus Vega. A Chicago PD narcotics detective named Angela Torres. An O'Hare Customs inspector named Raymond Cho. A federal probation officer named Lisa Hartman. This wasn't isolated corruption. This was a staffing plan. If that betrayal makes you furious, comment exposed right now. Outside, another team hits a trucking depot near Interstate 94. The air smells like diesel and ice. Maintenance bays, tool racks, grease stains on concrete. Then a K9 alerts to a semi-trailer parked in the corner. The dog won't leave the rear axle. Agents inspect it, tap the metal. The sound is wrong, hollow. They cut it open and methamphetamine spills out in clear plastic tubes. 419 kilograms hidden inside functioning axles. The engineering is flawless. The trucks drove cross-country without a single mechanical issue. These aren't street dealers. These are supply chain architects. And they didn't build this alone. In Cicero, a third warrant executes. A storage facility with roll-up doors and security cameras on every corner. Agents breach Unit 17. Inside are weapon crates. AR-15s with filed serial numbers. Glock handguns with extended magazines. Drum magazines still wrapped in plastic. A Barrett .50 caliber rifle in a foam line case. There's a wooden crate labeled fragile. Inside are grenades. Real ones. Fragmentation devices with metal casings. Not replicas. Not deactivated. Live explosives. Beside the weapons are ballistic vests. Night vision scopes. Tactical communication gear. Military-grade equipment. This isn't for Chicago. This is going south. The cartels are exporting the tools to defend their empire. Share this investigation so more people understand what moves through American warehouses. Back on the south side, agents locate a third structure connected to the main warehouse by a covered corridor. It looks like a maintenance shed. It isn't. The door requires a keycard. An agent forces it. Inside is a counting room. Industrial currency counters clicking like insects. Vacuum sealers running warm. Cash stacked on tables in bundles. 20s, 50s, 100s. Rubber banded and sorted by denomination. The total calculated later reaches $19,200,000. Cash sitting in a warehouse like inventory. Because to the cartels, it is. In the corner sits a floor-bolted safe. Agents cut it open with a torch. Inside are passports. Mexican, Guatemalan, Honduran. US passports with different names but identical photo backgrounds. Fake identities for real criminals. And a thin manila folder. Inside are printed screenshots. Court dockets. Hearing schedules. Witness protection addresses. Someone inside the justice system has been feeding them the future. It's 4:18 a.m. now. Chicago still sleeps. Sunrise is 2 hours away. But in a secure facility in Quantico, Virginia, 47 analysts watch live feeds in silence. They've been building this case for 22 months. They didn't trust local departments. They didn't trust border offices. They barely trusted each other. So they operated like they were hunting foreign intelligence. Sealed indictments. Compartmented briefings. Encrypted communications that never touched official servers. A task force built to survive corruption. Because they learned early what the cartels already knew. The easiest way to move poison isn't through tunnels. It's through people. What started this investigation wasn't a big seizure. It was a body. March 9th. A college dorm room near DePaul University. A 19-year-old named Sofia Ramirez found unresponsive beside her biology textbook. She told her roommate she bought a Xanax to help her sleep before finals. It looked real. It wasn't. Toxicology showed fentanyl. No alprazolam. No prescription history. A single counterfeit pill ended a life that hadn't begun. 3 weeks later, another death. Then another. Different neighborhoods. Same tablet imprint. Same binding agent. Same lethal dose. A DEA chemist noticed it first. The pills weren't just similar. They were identical. Manufactured on the same press. That's the thread. That's the crack. And when investigators pulled it, they found shipping manifests. Shell companies. A Chicago address appearing again and again. Midwest Cold Storage. Great Lakes Distribution Group. Lakefront Logistics LLC. All registered to the same mailbox service. All paying rent on warehouses with no visible business. All wiring consulting fees to the same offshore accounts. If you want to see how investigators turned paperwork into handcuffs, type trace below. By 6:53 a.m., the Chicago arrest count climbs. Warehouse supervisors, dispatchers, armed security, drivers with burner phones duct taped under dashboards. 81 suspects in the metro area alone. Then the arrests that shatter trust. 5 Cook County deputies. 4 Chicago PD officers assigned to narcotics. A federal probation officer. An O'Hare Customs inspector named Raymond Cho. Cho is arrested in his driveway. Uniform pressed. Badge clipped to his belt. Coffee in hand. He doesn't resist. He just asks one question. How did you know? Because the cartels trained him to believe the system was blind. They trained him to believe nobody was watching. But the watching never stopped. Across the country, the same pattern unfolds at the same hour. In Laredo, a Border Patrol agent named Hector Ruiz is taken at 4:39 a.m. as he approaches his checkpoint station. 13 years on the job. Commendations for drug interdictions. A record that looks clean until you look closer. He's been waving trucks through secondary inspection for $22,000 per load. 61 times. That's $1,342,000. A tug on his collar. A scratch behind his ear. Little gestures from drivers that mean this one is ours. No dog. No X-ray. No questions. In Phoenix, a prosecutor named Monica Delgado is arrested outside the courthouse where she's prosecuted narcotics cases for 9 years. Investigators discover she's been leaking confidential informant identities. Names, photos, addresses. People died because of what she sold. In Los Angeles, an IC deportation officer is arrested for deleting cartel operatives from removal databases. $11,000 per deletion. 214 names erased. Some of those men are now dead, some are now free, and some are on their way back. This wasn't corruption at the margins. This was corruption as infrastructure. If that terrifies you, hit subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. By noon, the numbers become impossible to ignore. 8,818 pounds of fentanyl seized across 22 cities. 14,100 pounds of methamphetamine. $153 million in cash. 94 million in cryptocurrency recovered from hardware wallets and cold storage. 1,047 firearms. And over 5,000 arrests tied to the network. The scale doesn't compute, so investigators do the math. A lethal fentanyl dose is 2 milligrams. 1 pound equals 453,592 milligrams. Multiply it out and the seized fentanyl represents over 2 billion potential lethal doses. Not a number. A weapon of mass destruction, enough to erase entire cities. And in Chicago, agents learned the hardest truth of the operation. The city wasn't chosen randomly. It was chosen because it works. Interstates radiate in every direction. Rail hubs, air cargo terminals, warehouses stretching to the horizon. A distribution dream. A perfect place to hide a continental headquarters in plain sight. And the cartels exploited it with corporate discipline. Shift schedules, quality control inspections. Driver performance bonuses. They even offered benefits. A seized ledger shows payments labeled medical, family support, funeral support, because they expect their own people to die. But they never count the dead on the other side. They never write the names of the people who swallow the pill and don't wake up. A father of 2 in Nashville, a high school junior in Detroit, a nurse in Philadelphia, a freshman in Boston named Emma Cross. She bought what she thought was a Percocet after wisdom tooth surgery. Her roommate found her face down beside a glass of water. The pill came from a dealer. The dealer got it from a mid-level supplier. That supplier received shipments from a regional coordinator. And that coordinator's inventory traces back to a basement on Chicago's South Side. A straight line from a forklift to a funeral. Comment justice if you believe the people who built this should never see daylight again. The cartels call it business. Federal prosecutors call it racketeering. And the case files reveal a network stretching far beyond Chicago. Fentanyl precursors are sourced through suppliers in China and India. Legal chemicals in raw form, shipped as industrial compounds, labeled as solvents or laboratory reagents. Containers arrive at Mexican ports, Manzanillo, Lázaro Cárdenas. Then the precursors move inland to superlabs in Sinaloa and Jalisco. Not backyard operations. Industrial facilities with stainless mixing tanks. Tablet presses capable of 80,000 pills per hour. Chemists who studied organic chemistry at universities. The finished product moves north, some through ports of entry inside legitimate cargo, some through tunnels, some via couriers, but the majority through what investigators call the protected lane. That's where corrupted officials come in. A bribed way station operator in New Mexico who waves through overweight trucks. A paid state trooper in Texas who ignores nervous drivers. A compromised warehouse inspector in Illinois who never asks why a logistics firm receives deliveries at 3 a.m. Protection at every checkpoint. A system designed to defeat a system. And then there's the money. $16 billion a year in U.S. drug revenue, according to task force estimates. Money that has to move without being seen. So it moves through trade-based laundering, electronics, vehicles, designer goods, bulk purchases that look like commerce. Dirty cash buys goods. Goods cross borders. Goods sell for clean revenue. Then cryptocurrency enters the picture. Bitcoin ATMs in strip malls. peer-to-peer exchanges, privacy coins like Monero, transfers routed through wallets controlled by cartel financial officers, a modern laundering pipeline with old-school brutality behind it, and real estate, Miami condos purchased through shell companies, Phoenix suburban homes bought in cash, industrial properties near rail yards quietly acquired and repurposed. Agents estimate over $6 billion in cartel-linked U.S. real estate over a decade. This isn't just organized crime. This is infiltration. This is a national security threat wearing a business license. If you believe the public deserves to know how deep this goes, share this video before it disappears. The day after the raids, the Department of Justice steps to a podium. No long speech, no victory lap, a simple statement. Largest coordinated strike against narco-trafficking infrastructure in U.S. history. Then the second statement, the one that lands like a hammer. Officials who betrayed their oath will be prosecuted like the criminals they served, because the betrayals weren't isolated mistakes. They were a recruitment program. Cartel documents recovered in Chicago describe a process like human resources. Identify targets with financial pressure. Approach with a small favor. Offer a consulting fee. Escalate. Compromise. Control. Once an official accepts the first payment, the cartel owns them. Not just with money, with fear. Photos of a daughter's school, a spouse's commute route, a parent's address, a quiet message. Keep working, or lose everything. That's how institutions rot without anyone noticing until the floor collapses. In federal detention centers, suspects are processed. Most face decades, but the corrupted officials face something worse. RICO, honest services fraud, bribery, obstruction, deprivation of rights under color of law. Charges stacked like bricks. Agent Ruiz in Laredo is looking at 63 years. Customs Inspector Raymond Cho faces 91. Prosecutor Monica Delgado sits in an interview room and admits the most chilling truth in the whole case. She didn't think anyone would ever find out, because for years, nobody did. The cartels grew, the poison spread, and the line between law and crime blurred until it disappeared. 7 months after the operation, federal analysts release an impact assessment. Overdose deaths in targeted corridors dropped by 18%. Supply disruption drives street prices up. Regional networks scramble. Mid-level managers vanish. Chaos in cartel communications. Messages intercepted in encrypted chats show panic. Routes abandoned. Drivers told to burn phones. Warehouses emptied overnight. But the same reports carry a warning. The cartels adapt. They always do. New routes, new faces, new shell companies with new names that sound boring on purpose. Because the demand remains. And where demand lives, supply will crawl through any crack it can find. That's the uncomfortable truth. This is not just Mexico's crisis. The customers are American. The weapons flowing south are often American. The laundering happens in American systems. A chain made of many hands. But enforcement matters because you can't treat someone who's already dead. You can't educate a teenager in a morgue. You can't counsel a parent after the funeral and call it prevention. So the war becomes this brutal calculus. Disrupt supply, save lives, then fight the roots. But the roots are deep, and they're watered by money, despair, and corruption. In Chicago neighborhoods that lived under the shadow of distribution crews, something shifts after the raids. People talk. Anonymous tips hit FBI field offices. Warehouse sightings. Suspicious late-night loading. Unmarked vans that come and go. Fear cracks. Not because fear disappears. Because for the first time in years, people see the cartels bleed. They see badges arrested in handcuffs. They see that the machine can be damaged, not defeated, damaged, and that matters. If you want more investigations like this, hit like and comment what city you want covered next. Because the legacy of that morning in Chicago isn't the fentanyl bricks on an evidence table. It's the message. To the cartels, you can be found. To the corrupted, your badge won't save you. To the public, the threat is real and it's here. Trust is fragile. Once a community believes the system is compromised, cooperation dies. Witnesses vanish. Tips stop. Silence spreads. And silence is where networks thrive. Operation Iron Fortress wasn't just a strike on drugs. It was a strike on the idea that corruption is inevitable, that the enemy can buy anything, that the public has to accept mass poisoning as background noise. But here's the final truth. This isn't over. The next warehouse is already leased under a new shell company. The next dispatcher already has a new phone. The next corrupted official is already being watched, sized up, approached. A knock at dawn can come for anyone living a double life. And that's the point. If you believe betrayal should be punished, comment accountability. If you believe communities deserve protection, hit subscribe right now. If you want more people to understand what's happening, share this story today. And if you think the fight against this poison is worth continuing, hit like one more time. Because the next operation is already being planned. And this is only the beginning.